nobody, baby. Light me up, pour me up, I'm gone. Got me seeing genies in a bottle. Liquor got me feeling like a wrestler, call me Santiago. Everyone listen when I speak. Don't know shit about shit, but I know ball.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Two Nobodies with the Mic, episode 166. How's everyone doing on this beautiful Wednesday night, the 14th of January, 2026? Guys, please have fun. Join us. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram. This is an interactive show. The more you guys participate and talk shit, the more we have fun. But let's get into the introductions. Eddie Money, executive producer. What up, man?
What's up? What's up?
How's life in the big city, man?
Chilling. Had a
Yeah,
day off today, so just all at home doing some chores and watching sports.
there you go. You gotta love it. Hakatomi Plaza. What up, man? How's your life?
Not good right now, but we're
What
figuring it out.
we're figuring it out, man. It's everything will be all right. Hakatomi Plaza, can you tell the people before we introduce the guru? Can you tell the people that there is only one rule on this show? Can you tell the people what that rule is?
Don't be a loser, which I'm right now doing. So don't be a loser.
So you're breaking the rule right out the gate. Guys,
Yeah.
we are going to talk gambling today. Rafa the Guru is going to give you some lines, some predictions. Just don't be a loser. Play what you can afford. Be disciplined with your units, all that good stuff. That being said,
Well, I'm sorry. The Whiskey Reaper on Instagram, he said, "Hey, life is not good right now. Homeboy had Steelers."
oh God,
I would
maybe.
never. I
No.
He
would
would
never.
never. Yeah, no, he was praying for the Steelers actually to lose. But
Yeah.
anyways, let's introduce the guru, the one who sees all, the one who knows all, the one who puts his balls on the line for you people, by the way, for you people to make some monies.
Or lose.
Rafa, the guru, what up, man?
What's going on, brother? What's
How
going
you
on?
living? How you living?
Oh, good.
How'd you shoot today?
I was good on the front nine. Shot an 88, 42 and a 46.
Sheesh.
Windy though. Windy.
Shit, that is an amazing score for that course. That course is extremely difficult, especially in the wind. So congrats, man. You getting prepped for that Malvin Cup. You're gonna take that shit home, man.
Oh, I hope so. I saw
Yes.
Owen today, by the way.
Oh, really? At Angeles?
Yeah, he was getting there to practice. I hate to put him on blast. Dude, his handicap +3 right now.
Whoo,
Plus
dude.
+3, brother.
Yes, Owen is a stick, as they say. Shout out to
Oh,
Owen. And if you don't know who Owen is, go say hello. Owen is at the Melbourne store on Melrose Place. I believe he's at the performance side. He's not in
Yeah,
the other side.
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out to Owen, man. Good
What's up,
shit.
Mike?
Oh, it's Michael Brown's it. Here we go. Talking shit already. Guys, talk your shit. We see it. We love it. We continue to be friends with all you guys who talk shit. I wonder whatever happened to Dude McBoob. I think he really thought we were going to send him money.
No, he probably got his internet cut off. He was in
Yeah,
Michigan.
Probably.
That is
Anyway.
almost a third world
Yeah.
country.
It is. Anyways, guys, welcome aboard. Two Nobodies with the Mic, episode 166. We are going to knock this out. Listen, NBA is in full swing. I'm trying so hard to watch college basketball. If it's not Michigan, North Carolina, Duke, it's really hard to
Arizona.
watch. Arizona,
UConn's a good team too, Ed.
UConn's very good as well. But I watched Iowa State.
Kansas.
Yes, the number 2 team in the country, by the way.
Yeah.
and they look like dog shit, man. 16-0. You know that Miami of Ohio or a small school or Dayton, 17-0, Rafa, in college basketball, and they're not ranked in the top 25. First time
They'll
that's
get there.
ever happened.
They'll get there.
How do you not rank these vatos? That's
They'll
ridiculous.
get there. They play nobody, Eddie. They'll get there.
All right. Everyone plays.
Nebraska, I believe, is also still undefeated.
Yeah, Nebraska won last night
which is wild.
Yes. But if you guys don't know, March Madness, come hit us up. We should definitely do a March Madness giveaway where maybe we get you a room, and a dinner to come hang out with us.
Let's do that. Let's give away a room in Vegas.
Yes.
For March Madness. We'll give it away. We should give it away at the end of at the middle of February. So we'll give it away 4 weeks from now.
Yes.
That way they can plan accordingly. Whoever wants to join, we'll give them a free room.
And and we'll take you out to a couple dinners at Taco Bell.
It's a wine and dine. What's going on here?
Are you whining down your followers?
You want to hang out?
I'd like to win this giveaway. Hello.
Yeah, what the hell's going on here?
Yes, you hang out with the two nobodies, man. You'll be an honorary nobody. Anyways, guys, let's get into it. Like I said, college national championship coming up. That's going to be awesome. We have NFL divisional round, right? And then we have some firings. We're going to get into it, all of it. But if you don't know by now, we always start the show off with our first segment called Hired. There you go. Hit that cough button, Jacob. Good job. Come on, man. Be a professional here. Be a professional, man. God,
since when are we professionals ever?
Well, yeah, that sounded disgusting.
Whoa. Bro, I press mute when I'm talking to people off on the camera.
Yeah, you should
be doing that. You're on a podcast.
I had somebody here working on some stuff. He walked over to the door. I fucking muted it, and you saw my hand. I'm talking to the guy.
I see shit.
Bro, Rafa literally did it like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, and
get in the game, but get your head in the fucking game.
Yes. And it looks like I'm imagining your microphone like it just got slimed in Ghostbusters. Like it's just green all over your freaking microphone. That's how it sounded.
There's no microphone because I don't have an adapter. So
okay, well, it sounded disgusting. The point is, it sounded disgusting. All right,
I love it. Dude, these two are gonna have a night tonight.
Yeah,
these two are gonna have a fucking night.
You got an hour out of me, so make it count.
Jacob's hot.
Oh God. Anyways, guys, first segment is called "You Are Fired." If you want to fire someone, if someone's pissing you off, if your coach didn't get fired and you want to fire him, or you want to hire somebody, it goes either way. Now is your opportunity to reach out to the two nobodies on Instagram or YouTube. And I want to give a quick shout out to 13 Under Golf sending me this putting tool here. I got to do some videos to them. So we'll make this segment brought to you by 13 Under Golf. Rafa, this is it right here. This is the tool that's going to take me from a 21 to a 15 handicap, man. Right here. This is
I hope so.
The silver. Yeah, me too. Probably not, but we're going to give it a shot. Anyways, guys, who wants to start? You are fired or hired. Jacob, I want to fire your lungs.
I want to fire myself. I feel like I need a podcast to make a firing about me.
You have the opportunity right now.
Yeah.
Turn that frown upside down, buddy.
Yeah. Fire someone, man. Fire somebody.
I have no hatred right now towards the world,
Just yourself?
Just myself.
No hate watching, huh? Maybe that's why you're so pissed off. Okay, who wants to start?
I can start. I'm annoyed.
Go ahead.
Today I had the day off, like I said earlier, so I've been fucking watching all sports, and soccer started at 12 for me, so I was watching a couple soccer games, and then nothing happened after that, so I had to turn on some basketball, and it has been absolute dog shit, and it reminded me why I shouldn't watch basketball, because two of the games at 4 o'clock, both of them were blowouts, and has been nothing exciting the whole time.
I've been telling you that for like a month.
I hate the NBA.
Anyways.
Don't tell Rafa that, and don't tell his brother Fred that. because the athletes and the basketball players are so much better than the 80s and 90s and the early 2000s.
Dude,
Rafa?
This
It's
is true, but
100%.
like they don't care. Like they just don't care. They don't care about these regular season games. They're just trying to get to the playoffs because they think they know we're going to be in the playoffs. And then once they get in the playoffs, that's when they maybe turn up a little bit.
listen,
Even then,
I'll
it
tell you,
sucks.
I'm okay with Eddie Money's firing because I understand everyone's frustration, and it's not that the gameplay is so bad every night. What Eddie Money just said is that they really don't care. And I think what it is when they extended this playoff to from 6 through 10, well, it was 8, right? But now
Yeah.
the 6 seed or the 7, 8, 9, 10
The
play
play-ins.
each other, and they get it like a play-in game. So it's like now there's not too much emphasis on being one of the 8 playoff teams because you can get away with being absolute trash and get in that 10 spot. And, it kind of reminds me of, like Jordan's early years when there were so many expansion teams and he got in the playoffs at 37 and 45 and then got his nuts kicked in by Larry Bird. But that's neither here nor there. If you get my drift.
I'm getting your drift.
But that's what I think it is, Eddie Money. I think some of these games, especially here in January, you have the Sixers and the Cavs playing. Both teams are currently in a playoff spot. The Cavs aren't playing as good as they did last year, right? They've had a bunch of injuries. Joel Embiid has come back to play in Philly, and since then, the scoring for them has been down because he's a ball stopper. The ball stops with him. He's fucking 7'1". He thinks he can shoot jumpers, and he thinks that's his game, and he doesn't understand that if he plays inside, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, and everybody else can shoot the basketball. But he wants to be the ones shooting 20-footers, 19-footers, 22-footers, and it just slows the rhythm of the game down for them.
To me, it's worse than that, though, Rafa. Like, pull up the Nets roster.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Like, name 3 players on the Nets roster. Like, the rosters,
Porter,
just look like.
I probably can name that whole team.
Okay,
I only know Michael Porter.
Like, some of these rosters, I'm like, who are half these players? Like, it feels like anyone can get in the NBA now. Like, it just seems like these rosters aren't made to play basketball. Like, it just makes no sense to me. How are some of these rosters like existing? It's insane to me.
You watched Derek Fisher play point guard and win 5 fucking titles, okay? Derek Fisher couldn't play in today's NBA. Too slow, can't shoot the basketball consistently. He couldn't play today. So when you're watching guys who are playing today, they're so much better than those guys. I'm sorry to tell you, but random fucking dudes today are better than those supporting cast, those role players back in that time. I
could say individually, like each player is better than like 20 years ago. But as a whole,
no doubt about it.
basketball,
but as a team game, it is a terrible product.
Like they used to form teams, now they just like collect players.
Because the NBA has gotten so big because the players in the NBA have gotten so big that nobody gives a fuck about a team. They want to have a superstar so they can be seen, and the NBA focuses on that one player.
Yeah, shit.
And
I know it. Is that not a problem to you? Is that not a problem? Like, you don't think there's a problem in this?
Yeah, 100% there's a problem, but I enjoy the game of basketball. I love basketball. I played it every day, sometimes twice a day. I enjoy it.
So it should hurt you more.
It should hurt you more. This show that happens every single day.
I'll tell you something, and this is not by any means a popular fucking opinion, and 99% of the people are going to hate it.
Oh, God.
But I enjoy to watch basketball more than the NFL. I'm sorry.
Wow.
That is disgusting to hear.
I'm telling you, I enjoy to watch basketball more than I enjoy watching the NFL.
He's not lying, though. He's not lying.
I know you're not lying, but I would much rather love to watch a 3-3 like first half than a blowout in basketball the whole time.
I'll watch Titans Jaguars all day long.
Shit, I watch Browns.
No, I can't, because to me, and I say this every fucking week, NFL players for the most part are stupid as fuck. They really are. So when you watch them make mistakes, the head coaches are just as bad. That's why the head coaches in the NFL are so important, because the players are so fucking stupid. They literally are. And since we're getting on the NFL and we already heard fucking Eddie Money's firing, I'm gonna fire fucking Jim Harbaugh, because to me, listen, and Herbert didn't play good. That offensive line played like shit in the second half. Whatever. The mistakes that Harbaugh made, to me, you didn't kick a field goal early in the game after you just had a stop. You didn't kick the field goal. You gave them back the ball on the very first play. They got 48 yards. Okay, took momentum completely off your team. That's one. Number two, on the last drive that they had the football, why are you making? Why are guys running in and off the field? You lost a minute because now you had to let New England sub. You lost a minute when you had no fuck. You needed that time and you lost a minute. So it just annoyed. There's so many mistakes that they make that are just like, oh, mental mistakes. Because I'm not talking about a corner getting beat, an offensive tackle getting beat or whatever. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the mistakes that head coaches make. That's just ridiculous. And then this notion that, like, for example, take the Steelers and the Ravens. The Ravens have a hell of a roster. Do you think the Steelers with another head coach are going to win 9 games next year? This man has overachieved with fucking likes of Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, fucking an fossil of fucking Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, who couldn't even hold on to a job for 6 fucking weeks this year. You think you're going to get somebody to go in there? You bring in somebody next year, that fucking win total is 5.5 for that sorry-ass roster. Literally. So the notion of you're going to have somebody better than Mike Tomlin, you're not going to have. You're not going to have. It's just not happening.
We're going to get into that. That's a legit firing. We got Michelle. What's up, Michelle? She's in the chat. We have Matt. No firings. Enough NFL teams fired their coaches. That's a fact. We got Cecilia. I want to hire the defensive coach of the Texans. Well, that's the head coach. That defense, like I said, it was unbelievable. They were really good. What else? Rafa was a pure scorer back in the day. No. I agree. Harbaugh made some very questionable decisions, Rafa. That is noteworthy, and that's why I approve that firing. Anyone else?
Real quick, Eddie. The other thing, real quick, to touch on that game, bro. Like everybody considers, and this is the thing too. Like everybody considers all these quarterbacks, the Herberts of the world, and the Joe Burrows of the world, because they look good throwing the football, right? They look so good. Yet we see Herbert get to the playoffs, get his nuts kicked in 3 times. It didn't matter the head coach. With Staley, you blew a 24, 27-point lead. With Harbaugh, you can't even score. Like, literally, you can't score. You lost a fucking playoff game with this supposed elite quarterback, right? You scored 3 points on a team that wasn't a great defensive team. And I know their offensive line has been hurt. They still won 11 games with a hurt offensive line. Like, I don't understand how, the offensive line was shit, but they still won 11 games. In the playoffs, they turned into more shit? No, they didn't turn into more shit. They were already shit, and your game plan was the one that was actual shit. Because your quarterback, who's this elite level dude, because he looks elite for 15 or 16 games or whatever the fuck it is that he played, but he was god-awful because his asshole gets tight. Just like Joe Burrow, he's great throwing the football. He looks wonderful. He's missed the playoffs 3 years in a row. Listen, everybody would love to have a Joe Burrow. We need to kind of remove him off one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league because he doesn't make the playoffs. If I'm looking at the quarterbacks that consistently make the playoffs, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, whether you guys like it or not, I'm not saying Brock Purdy's better than Joe Burrow. His team makes the playoffs. He has weapons. So the weapons only count for Brock Purdy, but they don't count that Joe Burrow has 2 elite wide receivers. Like that doesn't matter because his defense sucks. Dude, Brock Purdy's playing with 11 defensive players that you've never heard of. Literally ever. Nobody's ever heard of anybody on that Niners defense. Like, no fan, I guarantee you can name 5 guys off of that team on that defense.
Well, I mean, Takatomi Plaza, we brought this up. This was an issue. This is why, listen, they've had injuries, right? Obviously, Bosa. Who else got injured on that defense?
Fred Warner, who's not ruling out playing this weekend.
Fred Warner, yeah.
That's a dog right there.
That's why we didn't want to pay Brock Purdy $55 million. So you could have depth on your offense and defense. That's why. But listen, he got paid. That's that. I don't think you could just call out Joe Burrow the last 3 years not making the playoffs. Injuries were a huge part of those 3 years.
And injuries are also a huge part of you being one of the elite quarterbacks in the league.
Yes.
That's the thing. The last 3 years, your team has had zero chance to make it. Like Lamar's made it. This year, they blew the last game, which the kicker should have made the kick, and he didn't. Okay. So that, and Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls in a row, and he's made the playoffs 3 or 4 seasons in a row. Right? So it's like, he's listen, as much I don't like Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's better than Joe Burrow, but he's a better winner than Joe Burrow. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to tell you, the notion that Joe Burrow is one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league at throwing the football, yes, not at winning. I'm sorry. Joe Flacco went in there and put up better numbers in 5 games with the Bengals. All losses, by the way. He lost them all, except he beat the Steelers. He put up better numbers because he has the weapons. I would love to see Joe Burrow without Jamar Chase. Pull Jamar Chase for fucking 10 games. Let me see what Joe Burrow does. I'm sorry.
Did you not forget that he beat the Chiefs? Did you not forget he was in the Super Bowl?
I forgot all that already.
Obviously.
100%. I forget when you haven't done shit for 3 years. I forget that because guess what? The Raiders forgot that Geno Smith. You all forgot that Geno Smith was a playoff quarterback for 2 seasons, right? Or did everybody forget that? Everybody forgot that he was the best fucking quarterback completion percentage. You forgot it already. He had the best completion percentage last year. You forgot it already. Why? Because his team was 2-15. That's why you forgot it.
Because football is the ultimate team sport, Rafa. It's the ultimate team sport. Look
at the Texans. Look at the Texans this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you need 22 guys. You need 22. You can't have an amazing offense and a shit defense. You can't have.
Let me tell you something. You remember the year that Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl? They were the number one. They were the worst defense in the NFL. And the first game they played the Chiefs, and they had to face Priest Holmes, okay, in the playoffs. That was their first game. They dominated Priest Holmes in that game. They didn't do shit. They weren't able to run the ball against the Colts. That was the year the Colts won the Super Bowl, I believe. They were the worst defense in the playoffs by far. It wasn't even close. They were ranked like 29th. They still won the Super Bowl. They were the worst defense all year long. Still got to the Super Bowl. Still got there and won that. I'm sorry. You got to be elite. And he looks like elite because he makes these great throws. He does this. He does that. You're still winning 6 games. You're still winning 7 games.
Black Seam 1 on Instagram said he's right.
I don't know who that is. It could be me. I don't know. But, dude, I guarantee you. And listen, Josh Allen, to me, is the best quarterback in football right now. Okay? If you put Josh Allen on that Bengals team, he would help enough for that defense to be better. I don't know. Because his defense sucks. The Bills' defense isn't good.
Okay. You also have the number 1 rusher, James Cook. He leads the league in rushing.
How did he do last week? How did he do last week and they won the playoff game? How did he do last week? Josh, he threw that motherfucker on his back against the number 1 rush defense in the league on the road.
Yes. And that's why he is. That's why he is the best.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's beat Josh Allen twice. Okay. Josh Allen continuously is in the playoffs. Oh, because his division sucks. His division had 2 teams in the playoffs this year and last year. So,
speaking of that, how crazy is it that the only head coach in that division that didn't get fired is the Bengals coach?
And I mean, he's the only team that lost to the Jets who didn't fire their head coach.
Stefanski, 2-time coach of the year. John Harbaugh, freaking Mike Tomlin, and he keeps his job? That's some crazy shit, man. That is some wild stuff. But enough of the Joe Burrow hate, man. Enough. It makes me uncomfortable, Rafa. It makes me uncomfortable. I was going to fire and hire. I wanted to fire Anthony Davis again, hurt, out for months. We'll just pass that on. It's ridiculous at this point, Mr. Davis. I was going to fire all the haters of that woman in the Jacksonville Jaguar press conference. This has become a story. All she did, she's been a reporter. She's, a local. All she did was compliment the head coach. And people are just spewing hate on her. Like it's wild. It took 30 seconds for her to congratulate what's his name? Eddie Money. Why can't I can't think of his name?
The Duval coach, Jaguars.
Yeah.
Coach?
Yeah. Anyways, why do you
Liam
think
Cohen.
Yeah. Cohen, why do you think it went so viral? Why do you think people had such a problem with it, Rafa? I mean, I know there has no room for, if she wanted to be a fan, go be a fan. This is a press event. She gave her opinion. This dude was getting buried as soon as he came out the gate with his Duval. He was quirky. Look what he did for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, became that number one pick who I know Rafa didn't believe in him. I was having my doubts, but he's turned that team into a good defensive team. He's turned Trevor Lawrence into a Pro Bowl freaking quarterback. So she gave him a little love. I didn't have a problem with it. Did any of you guys have a problem with it?
I didn't have a problem with it. I actually didn't see any hate about it. I saw only appreciation for it.
Oh no! I've seen people talking shit.
Oh,
really?
Dan Patrick was all bothered.
Oh,
Dude,
so old.
I want to punch Dan Patrick in the face so bad sometimes. He stands on his soapbox like he is just the king of all sports, and some of his takes just, they get under my skin, man.
The thing is, he was getting emotional, and she felt like, he was getting a little emotional, right? And first year head coach, overachieved, right? Won the South.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, they overachieved. Nobody had them winning that except me. But I also had the Broncos not making the playoffs. So let's not get on that.
It cancels each other out.
It cancel each other out. But it was getting emotional for him, I think, and she kind of wanted to ease ease him that down a little bit, let him relax a little bit, and hey, but it's all right. And it's true. He had a hell of a year. Nobody expected what they did. They did.
He did, man. But I'm trying to think if there's something that really stands out. Patullo fired. That was deserving. The Eagles OC. This will be now the fifth offensive coordinator that Jalen Hurts will have since he's been with the Eagles. And there was a lot of hate towards Patullo. I think deservedly so. His offense, stale. You have talent everywhere. You know what? I'm going to fire A.J. Brown for dropping 3 balls that honestly probably cost him the game. That last one for sure cost him the game. You can't cry and bitch. Listen, most receivers do, right? Receivers are divas. They want the ball. But then when it's thrown your way, you got to catch it, man. And I mean, his hands have been sketchy all year, but in that game last week, he dropped 3 crucial balls that were more than catchable. He gone, man. He's literally going to be fired. Where do you think AJ Brown ends up going? Do you think he stays in Philly?
No, this is it. They almost traded him last year. They're going to trade him now.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking problem. A lot of these receivers are problems. George Pickens, AJ Brown. Because when you saw he had a heated exchange with Sirianni on the sideline.
Big time.
And after that, it kind of went that's the problem with a lot of these receivers, dude. They're so problematic and this and that. And Mike says the cap hit's too big. It doesn't matter. They'll figure it out. You can't keep him on the team. He's a fucking problem. It's been 2 years in a row. They won the Super Bowl, and this guy's a problem. He's a problem.
Michael Brown. You know what? Michael Brown, he's in everyone's dude. You should not be a realtor, M. Bizzles. You should be a money manager because you got issues with everyone's damn money. You know what was a big cap hit? Getting rid of Russell Wilson with the Denver Broncos. That was the biggest cap hit in NFL history.
And they still did it, and he's never mentioned it. And he's never fucking
mentioned it once.
Bro, the teams made the playoffs 2 years in a row. When they dumped that turd, made the playoffs 2 years in a row, have been phenomenal. You didn't give a fuck about the cap hit, but God, every time, AJ, the cap hit here for AJ Brown. The Raiders have 39 fucking coaches on payroll, and they only have 13 of them. Like, it's just insane, Michael. Jesus Christ.
Yes. I feel sorry for whoever your wife is. You must really keep a tight checkbook. I feel like Michael only writes checks and is constantly balancing checkbooks, like $139 to Safeway markets. Anyways, just giving you shit, Michael Brown. Are you getting fired up yet? So, that's my fire. I'm firing AJ Brown. Let's get into actual hirings and firings. Shit ton of news. This wasn't Black freaking Monday. This was Black Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, it was like the Crusades in the freaking 1300s. Heads rolling everywhere in the NFL, Rafa. Any firings that surprised you?
No, because listen, when we talk about Ravens,
Miami,
Steelers, no, that didn't surprise me. It surprised me it took that long. That's what surprised me, that it took that long.
Well, Miami would surprise me. I thought with that little rally at the end of the season, they were going to give him a second chance.
Dude, it's so hard to give him a second chance because at this point, to me, I think you had to choose. And they still could, but you can't do shit with Tua. So it's like, I got to choose one or the other because it just doesn't work. So what am I going to do? Well, I can fire the coach who's been kind of underachieving this year. So Miami didn't surprise me. I mean, it didn't, because we talked about it fucking 9-10 weeks ago that they would get fired. And then they started playing well a little bit, but they fired the GM. It's like, you know what? And the thing is, it was smart from what Miami did. It's like, you know what? Let's not get an interim guy in there. And then he makes a run, and then we're forced to fucking hire him or at least interview him. Well, that's probably not the guy we really want, right? The Tomlin and the Harbaugh thing, we talked about it like for months. That it was just months. Both were kind of just running their course. Like, and listen, somebody said the other day, oh, well, you can't fire your coach if you're not going to get a better coach. The thing is that it's been 19 plus years for both coaches. Yeah. Like, it's just run its course. It's like, that's it. Like, you're not going to get a better coach than the two you just fired, more than likely. Yeah. But still, it's like, it's run its course. Like, that's it. It's over. You just let it go, and you got to bring in somebody else. Right. And so, but other than that, I think all the other coaches, I think, deserve to get canned.
Hakatomi Plaza, any firings surprise you, or guys that weren't fired surprise you?
I feel like those are all deserved firings. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't fire those guys.
I was just surprised with the Miami thing because I kind of feel like they backdoored him. Would he have sat Tua? I feel like they gave him a vote of confidence and be like, hey, let's see what you have in Quinn Ewers. He sat Tua. Do you think he would have sat Tua if he knew he had to win these last games? I feel like they kind of lied to him there.
He only sat Tua when they were out of the playoff hunt. That's when he sat Tua. They were still in the hunt.
Yeah.
Before once they lost and they were out of it, that's when he sat Tua. He's like, oh, we're moving off. We're gonna sit him and we're gonna start the kid, which is fine because the season's over.
Yeah,
literally, like, the season's over. That could have been the GM. I mean, not the GM, the ownership, because there's no GM. That could have been the ownership coming down and saying, hey, you know what? Let's see what the kid's got the last 2 games of the year. The season's over. And if we lose, fine, because it'll help our draft position. And if he plays good, better for us, because we might have found somebody. And maybe we can develop a little competition there going into the season or whatever. So I didn't see it as much of a, I didn't see it like, oh, that, was a make or break for him.
Well, let's get into it. That's your fired, brought to you by 13 Under Golf. Hopefully they fix my putting, which is horrible. But let's get into Tomlin versus Harbaugh here. And I have questions, a lot of questions for you guys. Obviously, Thomas stepped down, hired in 2007, won a Super Bowl in 2009, is the winningest coach of all time or tied, either one with, I forget his name, 19 seasons, right? His last playoff win was in 2016. Rafa's talked about it 100 times that Steeler fans were delusional, because the AFC had, Tom Brady, they had Peyton Manning, a bunch of, big time quarterbacks. But my question to both you, Hawks and Eddie Money is, who has more to prove now? Does Harbaugh have anything to prove? Does Tomlin have anything to prove? Are their legacies tarnished now because they didn't win? I'm curious, who needs to win more, Harbaugh or Tomlin at this point? You guys have opinions on this?
I do.
Shoot.
For me, I think if we're looking at it, I think Harbaugh has more to prove because he had a 2-time MVP, could have been a 3-time MVP, and a lot of people think he should have, but
yeah.
So he had that player and he didn't win, right? And bad things happen. You had a drop, which was for a 2-point conversion, by the way. Still, the Buffalo was going to get the ball after that, so that's not what lost them the game.
Yeah,
but you had that. You had this year at the end of the season, the kid, the rookie kicker misses a kick to win the division, get into the playoffs. Who knows if they make a run? You never know, right? And with Tomlin, he just hasn't had a fucking quarterback since Ben, and not even the last couple of years of Ben, because the last couple of years of Ben were just ugly.
We're bad. The last three, I would say, we're bad.
Yeah, we're just bad to watch. So
yeah,
Tomlin's gone to the playoffs with Kenny Pickett, or won 9 games with Kenny Pickett, or 8 games. Like that. That's a big fucking deal. He had Mason Rudolph for like a big part of one of those seasons where he also won 8 or 9 games. He's always been at 500 with shit quarterbacks, no real running back, no real offensive weapons. They went out and got a weapon. They also got a 42-year-old fucking quarterback, right? Yeah. So it's like, and when you look at Harbaugh, it's first-round receiver after first-round receiver. They bring in Beckham. They drafted Bateman. They draft Flowers. Yeah. They have a tight end. They get
DeAndre Hopkins.
They bring in Hopkins. They bring in Derrick Henry. Like, you brought in all of the pieces. You had the best roster in the NFL for the last 2 years, adding piece after piece after piece, and you couldn't get it done. You upgrade your offensive line this year. You're going to run the ball more, yada, yada, yada. Is it his fault that Derrick Henry fumbles in week 1 to lose the game? They blew an 8-point lead late in that fourth quarter against Buffalo. They blew a huge lead last year on the road against Miami. Like, they've blown games. And to me, when you blow a lead like that, in any game, when you blow big leads in the NFL, I think it's all on the head coach. It's on the play calling. It's how conservative they get. I think it's all of that, and I think it's always on the head coach. So he had weapons. He had weapons all over the field. So to me, I think he's got more to prove than Tomlin, who's done more with less. Although he didn't win a playoff game in the last fucking 10 years, but he did more with less. So Steeler fans are delusional as shit. For you guys to think that any coach is going to go in there with this roster the way it is, add a quarterback, whoever the fuck you want, you're probably going to go get Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you, because you guys still think you're a quarterback away. That defense is old. Like, it's old. It just doesn't. It's just not impressive. Like, T.J. Watt, does he still want to play? I feel like he hasn't done shit.
He hasn't.
Like, we gave you all this money, you haven't done shit. Hayward's old as shit. Jalen Ramsey, you traded Fitzpatrick for Ramsey. What did Ramsey do? Like, he didn't come in and play great while he was there. Maybe he had a game or two.
Porter Juniors look good.
Yeah, but you drafted. That was a great draft pick. Yeah, listen, there's a young guy you have there. He's a good player. You have some linebackers that can play. I mean, so.
What up, Will? Will, you owe me about an hour and a half. I watched your Cyclones play at Kansas yesterday. That was not a good showing for you guys. Hakatomi Plaza, you have any feelings on Harbaugh versus Tomlin?
I think Tomlin,
you prayed for Tomlin to lose. You got your wish, man.
I didn't pray. I said we need to will Texans to win.
Oh,
But I think Tomlin next year doesn't coach at all. I think he's gonna take a step back from everything. Probably go into media for 2 years and then maybe get back into coaching. I don't see him coaching next year at all.
right.
Yeah,
Listen,
apparently he's gonna go the Sean Payton route.
I agree,
He'll probably
but
coach some youth,
he's gonna
youth
have to turn
football,
down.
put some kids into shape, and then come back to the big
He's
leagues.
gonna have to turn down $12 to $14 million a year, man, to coach football. It's. I'm sure he's well
He
off.
has enough already, and I'm
I
sure
I
he's just fine.
I agree with Jacob on the fact that he's going to take a year off. But to me, when I look at like, there's two jobs that to me are really good, and to one is Baltimore, obviously,
Mhm.
and because you have Lamar, because you have a 2-time MVP there, because you have some defensive players that are really good, right? So there's pieces there. This is going to be the best quarterback he's had in 10 years if he were to go there. And the other one is Atlanta. You have a ton of pieces. On offense, you have 2 studs, maybe 3 if Kyle Pitts can, play as good as he does when he plays against, I think it's Tampa or one of those fucking teams who he dominates. And that defense can play for Atlanta. So I think Atlanta and the Ravens are really good jobs for a guy like Mike Tomlin who has defense. You go to Atlanta, you have a running back, you have a young quarterback, right? So and you still have Kirk Cousins, who didn't play bad when Drake London was on the field. So if the young kid doesn't do well, you can still use Kirk.
Well, I just got a corrections and retractions and bizzles. Ozzie Newsome was one of the best GMs ever. He just hasn't been the GM there since 2019. So
Michael Brown also asks, why was the owner of the Ravens so nonchalant to fire someone that was there for so long?
Because they underachieve, Mike. That's the thing. You underachieves 3 years in a row. The game they lost to the Chiefs, we all agreed when we saw it that they barely ran the ball in that game. They barely ran the ball in that game. Ravens fans want to go back to that Zay Flowers fumble. You didn't run the ball. You depended on Lamar to throw the ball in that game, which you didn't need to because you were well within reach. That game was a 1-score game the entire game. And then the next year they lose to the Bills. Ravens fans want to blame that 2-point conversion. It was a 2-point conversion drop. You still needed to hold Buffalo on the other side of it. So that's the thing. He underachieved. This year they missed the kick. And listen, is that his fault? Yes, you lost to a bad Pittsburgh team. They should have never come down to that kick at the end of the game.
we shouldn't have.
No.
Can I give you my take on this? Why Biscotti was so nonchalant? This was a decision. They went to Lamar Jackson, and Lamar put his stamp of approval on this firing. If you haven't heard the owner, him and Lamar are talking every day. Lamar has a say in this hiring, and told him, if you want to be in meetings, he said it out loud. He's like, I will send my plane, my jet to go pick up Lamar. We're doing full day meetings. Lamar is the one who put his stamp of approval on John Harbaugh getting fired. And if you remember the press conference right after the loss, Lamar had a chance to endorse John, and he did not. He said it's too soon. Guys endorsed Tomlin as soon as Tomlin, mutual parting of ways. Everyone came out of the woodworks. Aaron Rodgers, in that before Tomlin even stepped down, gave a 2-minute speech on how this is not Mike Tomlin's fault. I believe Aaron Rodgers, although difficult, annoying at times, he's a very intelligent man, a very complicated individual. He doesn't give compliments out ever. And he went on a whole rant on Mike Tomlin and how much he respects him, how much he did for him. And to me, it says a lot. John out, that's the Lamar thing. The fans in Pittsburgh, and I've told you guys for 3 years, Sonny had some teammates, Pennsylvania, big wrestling state. Sonny had some stud teammates. Max Shaw for 4 years told me, Eddie, we don't like him. He's living off of Cower. Don Merkin told me today. He's like, he's been living off of Cower's squad and culture. That was 19 years ago. That was 19 years ago. How long can you keep a culture? Some guys don't even know who Bill Cower is on that roster. I think it's
Some guys.
reach, right? Some guys. I think it's a reach. And listen, I don't live in Pittsburgh. I know almost like, I think it's 70-30 people wanted him out. So, that it's a really tight community, tough blue collar community. But Mike Tomlin was a part of it, man. I think he should sit out. It kind of drove me crazy that, people are telling me, oh, he's living off of Cower's, first of all, rosters, culture. That's a reach for me, Rafa.
It's
You guys
100% a reach because Bill Cowers last year he was 8-8. Like what roster and culture did you leave, motherfucker? You were 8-8. You didn't leave a 12-4 team. You didn't leave a 13-3 team, motherfucker. You left an 8-8 football team.
Yeah.
And he got them back to the Super Bowl. He did himself. Not with the NFL has so many roster changes every year that to me, I think the only one that we can ever say took that guy's roster and won a Super Bowl was John Gruden. He took Tony Dungy's roster to the Super Bowl and won it.
I'll say no. You got to go Jimmy Johnson and Barry Switzer. That was
Barry took that as well. Yeah, that Barry, but John Gruden also did the same thing.
Yeah,
and it was a lot of help that he played the team that didn't change the play in the Super Bowl that he implemented.
Thanks for bringing that back up. Appreciate that.
Yeah. The last year the Raiders were relevant. It's a circle.
Everything's a big circle. Everything's a big. Eddie Money, you have any opinions on Harbaugh v. Tomlin?
No, but I do have a follow-up question regarding that. Raiders will not be having an interview for Harbaugh. What do you think about that?
So I heard that they actually had conversations and then decided not to bring him in. I think it says a lot, actually. I don't think it's a lack of respect. To me, the Raiders are showing their hand and saying, we are getting draft Mendoza and we want to hire a young and up-and-coming offensive mind, which automatically rules out Brian Flores, automatically rules out Mike Tomlin. And I do have a take on this, because I said it yesterday in my little video. I would take Harbaugh and Tomlin in a heartbeat. And I'll tell you why. And this might get a little gay, okay? But I'm that abused and Hakatomi Plaza, you've never seen the Raiders do well. You were tiny. You're like crawling in diapers when they went to the Super Bowl. Michael Brown, we are paying 5 coaches right now. 5, okay? You're correct on that. We cannot continue this cycle of bringing in a coach and firing him. That's why I wanted Harbaugh or Tomlin. We're going to go and hire a young a Kubiak, a Shula, maybe even Don Merck said what's his name from Texas Tech, who's at Washington.
Yeah. So you might have to use a firm to get the next Vegas coach in Vegas.
Yeah, that's good.
That is more than hilarious. Oh my god.
Hey, that's gonna make a clip. That's gonna make a clip. That is so good. That is so good. But
Michael Brown.
Here's my take on this, right?
By the way, Don Merkin said bring back Gruden.
Oh, I would love that. And this is actually the take, and I wrote this down with Merkin. He's the one who said that's kind of gay, Eddie. I'm that abused.
Thanks for that, Don.
Yeah, I've been that abused Raider fan who's been in a ton of bad relationships with a bunch of bad guys who've, drank too much, beat me, done drugs, whatever. I now want the guy who is ugly, has a tiny pito, and has an 850 credit score. I want that guy who I know is going to be stable. Is he going to be the sexiest dude? Is he going to be, fun, funny, good looking? No, I want the most stable pick of a head coach on the planet. And to me, it's two. It's Harbaugh and Tomlin. We know those guys can coach. They have rings. What do you guys think? Does that make any sense? We can't hire a risky guy who doesn't have any head coaching experience. We can't. If we suck for the next 2 years, we can't fire another guy because Michael Brown said it. A firm has, gonna stop approving us.
You're gonna have to go affirm, and then what's the other
Klarna.
one?
And then you're gonna have to use Klarna.
Klarna?
You're gonna have to use Klarna on the Affirm.
Yeah, listen, Eddie. I said it last week where I thought that the Raiders needed a coach that you can't fire after 2 seasons.
Yes,
that's what I think. I think you can't get a coach, and you wouldn't hire Harbaugh and then fire him after 2 years. But at the same time, you have the number 1 pick. If you draft Fernando Mendoza, then you can go and get one of these young coordinator, offensive-minded, whatever. And then they'll have the rope because they have the rookie. So they'll get a longer leash. They can maybe have 3 opportunities, 3 seasons. But at the same time, when you look at all the other young quarterbacks that have come out, look at Caleb Williams, the improvement from year 1 to 2. Bo Nix, 2 playoffs in a row. C.J. Stroud. Jaden Daniels got to the NFC title game. Is that your expectation? Is that going to be, and not the fans, more fans are fucking idiots. Yeah. Is that going to be the expectation of the owner? Is that going to be the expectation where, this coach can't get it done with this guy after 2 years? Is he gone? Right? Because all these other guys have gotten it done. And Bo Nix is, maybe different because he has Sean Payton, who's always been a really, really good coach, right? But the other guys, Ben Johnson with Caleb, and you had what's his name in Washington, who I'm fucking totally freezing on, who was a defensive coordinator. No, the head coach who was a defensive coordinator for Dallas, and then he coached the Falcons.
Yeah, Seahawks. No, Seahawks had this guy.
Yeah. I forget his name, but anyways, he did it with a rookie quarterback. So all of these guys, is that going to be your expectation for your rookie quarterback and your head coach? Because if that's the expectation, guess what? Michael Brown's right. The Raiders are going to fire another coach, and they will have another one in line because all the other, the expectation is there that you're getting a rookie and you're going to make the playoffs in the first 2 years from what history has kind of told you over the last couple of drafts.
Let's stay on the Raiders hiring. I want Eddie Money and Hawk's opinion on this, on who they would like. Merkin actually brought up a good name to me yesterday and brought up McCarthy. I love that. To the Raiders. I was like, whoa. I wrote that down. I'm like, damn.
I brought that up last week. Mike McCarthy to the Raiders.
Yeah.
Because he's offensive minded. So, he's an offensive minded head coach. And
he's stable.
He's stable. You can't fire him after 2 years. I mean, you shouldn't. But and then people are going to say, you shouldn't fire Pete Carroll after a year. Pete Carroll's old as fuck. That's the thing. Where the game has kind of passed him by.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That the game has kind of passed Pete by. Like when Joe Gibbs came back to the Redskins, you can clearly tell that the game had passed him by. A great all-time head coach, but the game passed him by. Same with Pete. The game has passed him by. With Mike, I think he sat a year. I think you can bring McCarthy back. Even if you're the Ravens, you can maybe consider McCarthy. McCarthy, I think, is a very good head coach for a lot of these teams. I don't know if I'm Cleveland, if I'm going to go get McCarthy, and I don't even think McCarthy would entertain it for Cleveland. I think Cleveland needs to go young because their roster is young, and the expectation is going to be there. I want to tell you right now, Vance Joseph, everybody's talking about Vance Joseph.
Oh, my God.
Do not hire Vance Joseph.
No.
Vance Joseph is Raheem Morris.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Vance Joseph is Steve Spagnuolo.
Precisely.
Vance Joseph is Josh McDaniels.
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys are coordinators for life. Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel before. Though that's what these guys are. You saw Romeo Crennel go into Cleveland. He was god awful as a head coach. He was a defensive coordinator. Charlie Weiss, the same thing. You saw him go to Notre Dame. It was disgusting. And he was a great offensive coordinator, though. So to me, I think there's certain guys that are just Robert Saleh is another one where people are throwing his name out there because he's doing shit with a no-name defense at this point. Listen, you are going to get what you did. He's not a good head coach.
I gotta push back on it. If you failed as a head coach with the Jets, you should automatically, it should be in your contract that the NFL has to hire you again. Because if you failed with the Jets, we've seen it, right? We've seen it with Sam Darnold, with players, coaches, everybody. If you failed in New York with the Jets, it's an automatic, you get a do-over. So I wouldn't mind Saleh getting another chance because first chance was with the Jets. Hawks, who would you like to see in Vegas?
Hawks is unavailable.
Oh, Eddie Money.
These are my top 2 candidates. I want to see either Stefanski, or top 3, Stefanski, Kingsbury, or Mike McDaniel.
The thing about Kingsbury is that it's weird. And only because he had agreed to go to the Raiders, and then something happened.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So what happened?
We weren't going to get a quarterback.
We weren't going to get a quarterback. That's why.
We weren't going to get a quarterback.
We weren't going to get.
Yeah, but
Daniels.
I think when you look at Fernando Mendoza, he's not a Kingsbury style player.
100%.
Right? Like,
I agree with you.
But when you look at Kingsbury, his style player, Kyler Murray, everything that he had at Texas Tech, it was that style. Jaden Daniels, that style. It's kind of a spread offense where we can run the ball. The quarterback can run. Fernando Mendoza is not that. Fernando Mendoza is closer at running the football to Justin Herbert than he is to any of those other guys.
That's what I'm saying. I think those 3, whichever one likes Mendoza the most and thinks they can fit a scheme with him the best, I think will flourish in like 2 years. And also, you mentioned CJ Stroud earlier. Low key, he's been on a downward path ever since his rookie year.
Oh, hey, we predicted that here, buddy.
My gosh.
Don't get that shit twisted. He's morphing into Trevor Lawrence.
But he had like 2 or 3 interceptions and a fumble. It was screaming at the fans.
It was a bad football game. If they don't play defense, they're not fucking.
Oh my God.
That defense carried.
Oh, well, yeah, they had 2 touchdowns. Yeah. We'll get into that game later.
Last thing on the Raiders. I'm surprised none of you guys brought this up. And a lot of people, it's whispers. Kurt Cignetti, this guy who
it's not happening.
Okay, listen, highest paid coach in the NFL or in college. He's making $14 million this year because of what he's done. I'm not saying he wants out, but my God, he's going to be Jesus Christ if they win the national championship, Rafa. You can't get any higher. You can't do any more.
They can. You could build a dynasty in college.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Listen, Eddie. Listen,
be the next Saban.
Stop it. Stop it. Bro, stop it. He's not even going to
chase. He got something to chase.
As good as great of a head coach that he is, and his recruiting, listen, the way he runs the team, listen, and I don't like him because he's at Indiana, which is what I can't fathom and come around to. But I love the way he's basketball school. He coaches the way I coach my baseball team. That's how he coaches, which is what I should love. But it's at Indiana, which is why I don't. But to me, when
no fucking sense.
There's no listen. There's no better job in football. And I'm talking about football in general, college football, than the NFL. That's the highest peak. That's the top. So if you have an opportunity, because he's been so good in college that he can do what you mentioned Nick Saban. He can do what Nick Saban did. He can go to the NFL, and if it doesn't work out in 2 years,
come back.
Alabama, when they fire Kellen DeBoer, we'll bring in Cignetti for all the money.
Yes.
In Georgia, when Kirby decides to step down, we can bring in Cignetti. You can bring in Cignetti at so many places after he can dip his feet. And right now he's hot. He's the hottest commodity. There is no doubt about it. And he's coaching older players already. Okay. These kids are, 22 to, they're 19
25.
to 25 almost, right? So he's already coaching men.
Yes.
Right. And your men are at 18. No, those fucking kids are pussies at 18 still.
Yeah.
So listen, Cignetti would be great for the Raiders or anybody who wants to have him. And then he's so good. He's going to end the season so good. He's a 7.5-point favorite on Monday. So they're more than likely going to win that game. We'll get into it later. But imagine you leave Indiana to go coach an NFL team, and you're coaching the Raiders, a historic franchise. Although it's been terrible since 2002, a historic franchise. Whether we want to believe it or not, the Cowboys, historic franchise, haven't won shit since 96. Like, they're still historic franchises. So if the Raiders are calling you, it's not the Miami Dolphins that are going to call you. And they might, but that's not the job you take.
Yeah.
If the Raiders call you or the Baltimore Ravens call you, that's a job you're going to sit down for that interview, and you're going to go completely open mind. And I don't give a fuck if Indiana's paying me $14 million. The Raiders can give me $16 million, $17 million. They can apply for a firm and Klarna and Afterpay and whatever the fuck else, right? And MGM will throw in some money in there, whatever. But I think you have to really consider it. If I'm Cignetti and the NFL calls me, I'm going, unless it's the Browns. And in this situation, you have to remember when Harbaugh left Stanford, that he went to the Niners. I think the Niners had the #1 pick that year, and everybody thought, "Wow, Harbaugh and Andrew Luck." And then Andrew Luck decided to stay a year, I believe, right? But this year, we know Fernando's coming out. How much better would it be for you hire the guy who just coached the kid that won the Heisman and potentially the national title? That's a hell of a tandem. And if it doesn't work out after 2 or 3 years, he was so hot when he left college football that he can get the best job available in college. He can literally sit and wait. And if Ryan Day gets fired at Ohio State, he can take that job. If Kellen DeBoer gets fired at Alabama, he can have that job. He can have it. He literally walked in that room, and they're fucking bending over backwards for that man. So,
God, I love it. I love it. I didn't think you would agree. Do you think Tom Brady actually has the balls? You think it is possible?
I think everything is possible, and he's that good of a coach. He's shown improvement in every place that he's gone. Like Nick Saban. He went from one place to the other, and they just won. This man has won. So he's taken a school that was irrelevant in college football. Irrelevant. They've been irrelevant in college basketball for a minute. So imagine in college football, they were the bottom of the bottom. The shit of the shit. And this man has taken them.
Show Will's comments. Will's going off over here.
Raiders front office will be fighting over who they want more, Jeff Saturday or Gerard Mayo. They should fucking buy out Lane at LSU and give him $25 million to coach in Vegas.
He's already been a coach. Yeah, he's already been
there. That already happened, and Lane understands that he's a better college head coach, which is fine. Nick Saban realized that with Miami. Cignetti, that could be the case with Cignetti in 2 years. But to me, if you're the Raiders and you hire him, if you went the Cignetti route, let's say if that was a possibility, and it is a possibility because they're in college, so there's no sort of tampering bullshit. You can fucking walk in and sit in that dude's front door until he gets home and tell him, "Hey, I'm fucking Tom Brady, and this is the moron who owns the team. We want to offer you $20 million a year," and that could happen from one day to the next. So to me, that would be, and then like I said, if it doesn't work out, he's a hot commodity in college no matter what because of what he's done. He can get any job he wants in college football except maybe two, and that's Kirby and Ryan Day because he won the national title last year.
Yeah.
Other than that, he can get any other job. If it comes available, it's his.
Well, great take. Let's head into divisional round NFL football, man. Eddie Money, give it to us, man.
We got 2 games each day. 2 games Saturday, 2 games Sunday. Starting off on Saturday, got the Bills and Broncos. Broncos favored by 1, over under 46. I believe when the line came out, Bills were favored by 1.5. The line has now flipped. Broncos are home favorites now.
it's going to be super cold, is it not? I mean, this is in Mile High. If anyone could handle the weather, Josh Allen can. Big, strong. Played at Montana, or not Montana, Wyoming. How do you see this going, Rafa?
I just, dude, I think the line moving. It was crazy to me that the Bills were favored by 1.
Yeah.
And then now it's Denver by 1 or 1.5 or whatever. And I think the line's going to get to Denver being favored by at least 2 before kickoff. Number 1 seed at home, it's always tough. The pressure is there. You still got a young quarterback, but that defense is legit as fuck.
Yep.
And a head coach, Sean Payton's a better head coach than McDermott. There is no doubt about it. He's just a better head coach. But the best player on the field will be Josh Allen. At his lack of weapons, will that be an issue? Will they be able to run the football? I think they'll be able to run the football. I think they'll be fine. I think it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to go Buffalo by a field goal.
Woo!
Josh has been there, done that. I'm going to go, and listen, we've talked about it for a couple weeks, that this is Josh Allen's chance to fucking get to the Super Bowl, right? There's no Patrick Mahomes out there. There's no Joe Burrow out there, who are the teams that have beaten him.
Lamar.
Lamar, he beat Lamar last year. So, but his problem is with Mahomes. His problem is with Joe Burrow, and they're not there. Can they get it done? I think they win by a field goal, but it wouldn't shock. This game is the one where it's like it wouldn't shock me if either team, it's not a shock. I think there's only one game that you'd be shocked if the other team won this week.
I agree, and I think I know what that is. Just to take a step back, people are not seeing the writing on the wall here. Let's say that Buffalo does lose, and they lose by 6. Oh God, I almost said 6.
Oh,
Let's say they lose in an overwhelming fashion. Does Sean McDermott get fired? And does Harbaugh take that job? And now that is the most attractive job, more than the Giants and more than the Ravens. Because you've been saying McDermott is on thin ice for 2 years.
Yeah, I don't like McDermott as a head coach. I don't like him. There's no doubt about it. I don't like him. But he's a constant winner, right? And you can say that his division has been not that good. You can say all of that, but he's consistently won. They've won at least a playoff game, and a couple of years they've won 2 playoff games, right? So, to fire him, the Harbaugh and Tomlin thing was different because they were there for so long, right? And they were there for just so long. McDermott hasn't been there long, but I listen. I don't think they fire him. I would 100% fire him if he makes mistakes in this game that are his fault. But I don't know if it's his fault that they don't have a receiving core. Like I don't think it's his fault that they don't have receivers. I think they overachieve without having offensive weapons, kind of like what's the guy in Kansas City? I always forget his name, Patrick Mahomes. So so without offensive weapons, they've kind of not that they've overachieved. They don't have anything. They don't have. I think you throw a receiver like T. Higgins on that team. That's a big deal, and they don't have that. They don't have a receiver. Oh, they had Diggs. Diggs is a problematic fucking player.
Yeah,
let's be real. Okay, so but it'd be hard to fire him. I would say after winning a playoff game on the road, they're coming in as a 7 seed. I can see. I wouldn't mind either which way is what I'm saying. Like if they fired him, fine. I've seen it for 2 years where I thought he should have been fired, and if they keep him, I also see it as fine, unless he makes mistakes in this game, Eddie. A bad timeout and maybe in the second half. That on a fucking 3rd and 19 in the third quarter, that play clock's running out and you call a timeout. Like, no, that's stupid. It's 3rd and 19. Let's make it 3rd and 24. Let's not waste a timeout in a tight game. Yeah. So it's just mistakes that if he makes during the game where he maybe doesn't take a field goal, maybe he goes for it on a stupid 4th down from the other side of the 40 on 4th and 2, something like that. He makes coaching decisions. I think it'll be easier to fire him.
Eddie Money?
On this game or
McDermott? This game. McDermott, both.
I feel like I'm with Rafa there. You can't really fire a coach who gets you there constantly in the playoffs. Although to be fair, it's really bad based off of Josh Allen. In terms of the game, though, I don't know. When I saw they were favored by 1, when the line came out, I was like, "That's really surprising." I thought it was at least going to be like a pick 'em. But
What's the over under?
I never thought it
It's
would be pick 'em. To be
46.
honest, with you.
Really? I thought
I
that's what
can't
it was
because they were 1.5 point favorite underdogs last week on the road in Jacksonville. You're going to tell me that performance in Jacksonville was so good that you're going to
I see.
who was the number
you're
one
thinking,
team in the AFC basically from like week 5 and on.
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna
what
tell
we've
me
been
that
saying about them being the number 1 seed, though, it's like,
Listen, no, I understand. I understand all of that, but you're going to tell me that the number 1 seed that you're going to tell me the Denver Broncos aren't better than the Jags, and the Jags were 1.5 point favorites. So for me to see that the line opens with Buffalo as a favorite is why the line has changed to 2 points, because the Sharps were probably thinking the same thing. Like, these guys were 1.5 point underdogs last week, and now we're going to make them a favorite? No, it's on the road against the number 1 team in the AFC, who's been the consistent number 1 team in the AFC for the last 15 weeks or whatever.
I still don't like this team.
I don't like them at all either. I don't like the Denver
Josh
Broncos
Allen
at
better.
all.
Yeah.
Sorry, MB. Actually, not sorry, MB. Fuck your team. I hope
Fuck up.
Hope you guys lose this week. Josh Allen put belt to ass. This will probably be a low-scoring game because the Broncos are really good on defense.
Yeah.
It'll probably be a first half under, then they'll turn up in the second half. That's my guess. Give me the Bills. Fuck the Broncos.
Yeah. Give me Josh Allen, man.
Well, Hanley says playoff games at Mile High shouldn't be a thing. D linemen shouldn't need oxygen mask on the bench to get through the game. Home field advantage, man.
Home field advantage, man.
I don't mind that shit at all. And I know you guys are one of those that, because I think you said it last year, where, they should play these AFC title games and these NFC title games in stadiums where it's not snowing and this
Fuck
and that.
Fuck that.
To me, I think that shit is stupid. You earned home field advantage, then you deserve it.
Especially if you're getting a bye.
100%. There's no
if you're
doubt
getting
about
a bye,
it.
you shouldn't have to play in a fucking arena.
The fans deserve it. The team deserves it. They played their ass off to get home field advantage. They deserve a home game, not some neutral field because it's not cold and it's this and that. This is not college football, and they're not fucking bowl games.
Fact. Holy shit.
I'll just hear it while he pees.
Look at this
This
guy.
motherfucker. What are you, the Marshawn Lynch of fucking? I'm only here until he pisses.
I'm only here because I'm trying to get fine.
It's not gonna get fine.
The Bills Broncos. What do you think, Jacob?
Please, Bills. That's all I can really say.
Rocha throwing out his fucking Patriots have 6 Super Bowls bullshit. Bro, listen, you wouldn't have 6 Super Bowls if you didn't have fucking Tom Brady, Bill Belichick,
Not your home field advantage.
Rodney Harrison, Mike Vrabel, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis, Junior Seau, Ty Law, whoever you want. I mean, your defenses were stacked, dude. Relax. So what's the next game, Eddie Mike?
Second game, we have the Niners playing the Seahawks. Seahawks are at home, favored by 7, over under 45.
This is the game that shocks me if the Niners win.
100%.
This is the one game that I would be shocked if the Niners won. And listen, we talked about a couple weeks ago, Purdy 6-1. Now he's 6-2 against the Seahawks. They were so bad in that game. They weren't able to stop the run, and they weren't able to run the football. And that's a problem. And they weren't able to run the football last week either. So they got away with a holding call there on the touchdown from Purdy to McCaffrey. McCaffrey made some great catches in that game. Kittle only had 1 catch, and now he's out. They don't have Pearsall. Is he going to play? Fred Warner is talking about, don't rule me out for this week. That dude's a fucking dog.
He's day to day right now, which is nuts.
He's a dog. Listen, and I think if Fred Warner got out there, even if it's for 25 or 30% of the snaps on defense, I think that will be uplifting for that young defense and no-name guys to have that dude out there and willing his body to get into that game. I think would be a big deal for that Niners defense. I don't know if it happens, and even then, this is the game that, to me, I would be shocked if the Niners won. I cannot see it.
So do you think they have a chance to cover, though?
I don't even know. I can't unsee how bad they were at home a couple weeks ago in that game against Seattle. I really
Yeah.
can't. I think you need to force Darnold into making mistakes, and I don't know if he's gonna make any mistakes because I don't know if they're gonna even ask him to throw that football 25 times. As good as they ran the ball last time against the Niners, I don't know if you have him even throw it 25 times. I don't think he's going to need to because they were so dominant in that run game. It's going to I think for the Niners to even have a chance, I think Fred Warner's presence on the field, although for maybe 25 to 30% of the snaps, if he can even get out there, I think would be uplifting for that defense and maybe help them stop the run. I don't know if they can. Those corners, I mean, Lenore is awful against the run. My God, he's so bad against the run. Jesus Christ. So this is the one game I would be shocked if the road team won. Absolutely shocked.
Yeah. I mean, what Seattle did to them the last time, they ran the ball at will. Here we go. Purdy knows the assignment. Listen, he's going to have
not throw an interception.
He has to be superhuman. Shanahan has to have the playbook. There has to be quadruple reverse passes. Seattle's too sound on defense. Seattle can run the ball. Two really good running backs. You have a quarterback that doesn't need to make big plays. Like Rafa said, this is the game that I feel really confident about. Although these teams, obviously this third time they've seen each other, I think Kittle is just. I mean, Juszczyk. Take the over on catches on Juszczyk, right? Take the over. Like it's CMC and him. And Jennings is really good, but you saw how much they relied on him last week. Shout out to all the fullbacks in the house, by the way.
Yo, we just found Eddie's burner account.
Niners, Eddie. No, don't underestimate the Niners. Trent was out the first game. Listen, I like the Niners because I like Brock Purdy, and I like Brock Purdy because all the hate Brock Purdy gets. And so I would love for the Niners to win this game. I don't think they can. I don't like Sam Darnold. Listen, I apologize to him on this show because I shit on him all of last year. I was right on him last year that they would lose the first playoff game, which they did. He's had some bad games this year, but the last handful of weeks, they put it together. They beat the Rams. They beat the Niners on the road to get the number 1 seed. The problem I have with the Niners is their inability to stop the run. That's the problem that I have. And I think if the Eagles would have ran the ball on that last drive, and there was plenty of time to be able to run the ball, run some stretches, get outside, get out of bounds. There was plenty of time for the Eagles to do that. And I think they relied too much on Jalen Hurts' arm, which is why I think the Eagles lost. And A.J. Brown, Eddie alluded to it earlier, A.J. Brown dropping the football is a big deal. That was a big problem as well. Because the throw that he makes to Goddard on the 4th and 5 was a great throw. Oh, literally, there was nobody else open, and that window was very small. It was a great throw Hurts made. It was just, I think if they would have ran the ball a little more for the Eagles, I think they would have won that game. Seattle understands that they dominated on the ground in the last game. And I think they understand that Sam's going to need to throw the ball less than 25 times for them to win this football game. Yeah. I know it's a divisional game. I know it's a divisional round. And so I would love to see the Niners win. I don't think they will. And this would be the one game where it's like, oh, the road team won. Wow. That's the one game that would shock me.
And 49ers, Eddie, no one on this planet Earth hates Seattle and the state and the city more than Rafa. So if he's picking if he's picking the Seahawks to win, man, he really feels strongly about it. I don't see a pathway either, just because of what I saw a couple of weeks ago when Seattle just ran the ball at will. But hey, it's playoffs. I'm a Shanahan fan. Big time. And CMC, that catch, I mean, God.
The thing is, the Niners have to be able to run the football, Eddie, and they haven't been able to run the football.
No.
I know Williams was out and he came back last week. They still weren't able to run the football last week.
Yeah.
Eagles have a very good front, right? They have a very good defense. They have very good corners. Seattle's very, very good on defense as well.
Yeah.
So, the 12th man, it's going to be a tough path for the Niners. I hope they can do it. I don't think they can. That's all.
Yeah.
But trust me, I'll be cheering for the Niners 1,000%.
I've never seen Suge Knight and Trent Williams in the same room. I think I think they're one and the same.
Factoids, 100% facts.
All right, man.
Well, Hanley said Darnold better not start seeing ghosts like last year's Brock. Brock was there. Darnold's still unproven in the playoffs.
I'm telling you, a big deal for that defense will be if Fred Warner can suit up. I think that will be just an uplifting thing for them for the defense. If he can suit up, that would be just – and listen, Fred Warner is the leader of the team. Offense, defense, the whole thing. He's the leader of that team. You see him on the sideline.
Yeah.
He's the leader of that team. If he were to come out and be out there, like I said, 25% of the plays on defense, the snaps on defense, I think it would be uplifting to a team without any defensive players out there that anybody knows.
And I don't think it's a stretch to say that Fred Warner is the best linebacker in football.
Oh, there's no doubt about
it. Yeah, he's that freaking good, Mike. So,
all right, rolling in. You want to hear some?
No,
we're good.
Rolling to the Sunday games. We have the Texans playing the Patriots. Patriots are at home, favored by 3, over under 40.5.
I'll just say this. I didn't see the Steelers winning this game because of the offense being that bad, but I didn't expect CJ Stroud to be as bad as he was. My God. I mean, he tried to give that game to Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers. They tried everything they could in their power. I don't see – I love the Texans. That defense is ridiculous. Both Danielle or whatever, Hunter. And
Will Anderson.
And Will Anderson. My goodness. And that defensive backfield. Singletary. They're all Stingley. They're great. But I heard this the other day. Defense wins games, quarterbacks win championships. CJ Stroud is not right now a championship quarterback, in my opinion.
I'm gonna disagree
and Nico, he's probably going to play because it's the playoffs, but he probably shouldn't. But go ahead.
I'm going to disagree with you on that statement because you said defense doesn't win championships. Trent Dilfer won a championship. That defense won a championship with the Bears. With the Ravens.
My point is, defense will get you there, but eventually a quarterback will have to win you a championship.
Tom Brady threw 1 touchdown pass in the 2002 playoffs.
You always bring that shit up.
Oh, 1,000%. He was the MVP of the Super Bowl with 1 touchdown pass and 144 yards. Against the number 1 offense we'd ever seen up to that point in the Rams. The defense won that game. There just wasn't anybody to give because they were all so fucking good. So, to me, this defense is that good, Eddie. Can they put enough pressure on him where they won't need C.J. Stroud to get them but 17 points to win the game? Because guess what? Last week against New England, if the Chargers scored 17 points, they win the game. I don't think New England's defense is as good as they looked last week. I really don't.
Not.
And when we watched the Chargers were a top 5 defense this year, but when you watch them, were they really one of those defenses where like, wow, this defense is really good? It's like a fucking old-ass Khalil Mack was out there, was kind of their best player, right? Derwin James kind of flying around a little bit.
Yeah.
This Texans defense, and the reason the corners are listen, Stingley's phenomenal. The reason the rest of the defensive backfield is so good is because the front 4 are that good. I think they're going to be able to put a lot of pressure on Drake May. I think that I wouldn't be shocked if the Texans won this game by a field goal or less. And I'd be more. I'm going to take the Texans plus the 3.
Wow.
I'm going to take the Texans plus
Holy
the 3.
fuck.
And you know what? I'm not a CJ Stroud fan, and he looked awful last week, but the defense was that good. This defense, Eddie, is that good. They have 2 monsters on the outside.
They are.
On the outside in the front and on the outside in the back. Will they be able to get those guys to football? And what the Chargers didn't do last week that kind of bothered me a little bit is, are we not going to account for Drake May, who can run the ball? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Did you not watch the first half when he played against the Bills some weeks back? The guy can run the football.
He's an athlete,
intelligent. Man. He's athletic enough. And he understands when he can run the football. They're not running QB runs for the guy. The guy can scramble. He understands when to get out of the pocket, when he can get downfield, when he can get 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, when he can run for 3 yards and get a first down.
Yeah.
He understands that. Will the Texans account for that? I think they will, because their coach is a defensive-minded coach who's phenomenal, who's done a great job. Let's be real. After the first 4 or 5 weeks, he's been great since.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to give a little bit of the edge to the Texans because of the defense. I think when we're looking at this entire game, let's look at the units. And I don't do special teams because kickers fucking suck dick. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this team is phenomenal on special teams. This is not college football. When we look at the units, offense and defense, there's one elite unit in this game. And it's not the Patriots offense. It's not the Patriots defense. It's not the Texans offense. It is the Texans defense that is the elite unit in this game. And elite. They're elite. They're not Ravens. They're not the Bears, but they are elite. And I think they'll make enough plays on defense, stop some fourth downs, get them to punt a lot of 3 and outs. You know, when they're in bad situations, hold the team to a field goal after a CJ Stroud fucking fumble or whatever the fuck. I think the Texans keep them in it and they win it at the end.
You are forgetting one elite part, and it's the most important. Drake May will win the MVP. He is elite. Imagine this, Rafa and Eddie and Hakatomi Plaza, wherever you are. And Matt, you could attest to this. Imagine Drake May being a student of a game, being mature, being the last guy, first guy in, last guy out. And you know what he does every day? He sits, Rafa, with Josh McDaniel watching that offense. And who is he watching? Tom freaking Brady. He's not, other quarterbacks, hey, let's watch some Tom Brady film. Look at how good he is here. No. This is different, Rafa. Josh McDaniel won 6 championships with the Patriots, with Tom Brady. And now they're running the same offense. This is what Tom did here. On this play that Tom ran, he's literally sitting with Tom Brady's offensive coordinator watching Tom Brady film every freaking day. And that's why I love
great at it. And he's great at it. You know whose film I'd use? Matt Castle's on the Patriots. I'd use that motherfucker. Look at what I did with Matt Castle.
Oh my god!
I already know what you did with Tom Brady. Look at what I did with Matt Castle, motherfucker. And you're more talented than Matt Castle.
Chatsworth, baby.
Chatsworth High.
Yes. I
Matt
love
Castle and I, same age, by the way. Shout out to my buddy who sacked the shit out of Matt Castle and Kyle Bowler, all in the same year. That's his one highlight film. He still watches it.
If I sack Castle and Bowler from Hart, I'd talk about that shit every day.
Oh yeah.
If I stood on a fucking field, you wouldn't hear it.
That's right, Mike.
Shout out to my boy Big O who did all of that back at Granada Hills High School, man.
There you go, the Highlanders.
49ers, and he said CJ Stroud regressed badly. New England well coached defense gets the picks versus Stroud 23-17 New England. And then he had said before you started going at it, he was like MVP caliber Drake May, not a tiebreaker with that elite defense.
Thank you. And I didn't even see that.
He could be, but I'm telling you, I wasn't impressed. Were you impressed with Drake May last week?
Yeah, he made plays when he had to. And he was dissecting them. They fumbled. He had that horrible fumble like inside the red zone. They were going to go score. That was a bad mistake. But he was dissecting them. He ran when he had to. He made plays, and it looked easy.
I thought for me there were some plays where the Chargers were close enough to get pressure, and they were there. He stepped up, made some plays. He threw the ball away at the right time. He did all of that. Will he be able to do that this week against 2 elite pass rushers? That's the thing. When I look at this defense, kind of reminds me a little bit of the OC and Michael Strahan and JPP type of Giants pass rush, something like that, where your quarterback isn't great, but you still won 2 Super Bowls with elite defenses. And Eli made plays, the throw to the sideline to Steve Smith, to David Tyree. Like, we're not going to list all of Eli's plays, right?
Yeah.
But this defense reminds me a little bit of that. And I think when we look at D'Amico, he understands that his defense is that fucking good. And maybe they can run the ball a little more and put less stress on Stroud. I think it's probably gonna be the best game of the weekend.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. Hey, did we unmush Matt? Can we take him
real
off?
quick, Zach? No, we haven't.
Zach, we have one more game left in NFL before we get to that. I have a question though. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Robert Spillane after the game. He didn't say what player came up to him after the game, but he said when he went to go do like the post-game handshakes with the Chargers, they were like, "Hey, we could not figure out what defense you guys were running the whole game."
Really?
He said that. So I feel like you have to give some credit to that defense and Vrabel for being so well prepared.
I can't give credit to a defense when on 2nd and goal, you ran a quarterback run, designed quarterback run to the short side of the field with Justin Herbert, not Jalen Hurts, not Lamar Jackson, not Kyler Murray, not fucking Jaden Daniels, with Justin Herbert. I can't unsee that. In a 0-0 ball game, after a turnover where your quarterback just scrambled for a run, you ran a designed quarterback run. I can't unsee that. I'm sorry.
I feel like that's more of a knock on the Chargers, but like,
yeah,
it's
they stopped it
on their sorry ass offense, which is why they fired the coordinator. But Harbaugh's going to go through coordinators left and right because they were shit last year in the playoffs as well.
I'm just saying, I think the Patriots even should get a little credit.
I can't do it.
Rafa, yeah,
Rafa,
right. Thank God Rafa is not a credit giver. No one would have a credit card.
Listen, I'll tell you what, if
he would not give out any loans.
Let me tell you, if
everyone patient in cash.
Yep.
Bro, let me tell you. Let me ask you something. If CJ Stroud threw 3 interceptions this week, are you giving credit to the Patriots defense? Are we giving credit? Are we going to talk about how bad CJ Stroud was because he just did the same shit this last week? He had 3 turnovers.
No credit was given to the Steelers.
Yep.
Say their nuts kicked in. Stroud's going to be the. I think the Texans understand. They can't have Stroud be the difference maker in this game. Their defense has to be the difference maker.
I don't think he's going to make anything.
We'll see. I'm excited. I'm cheering for the Texans, man.
That game's a 12 o'clock kickoff for us. Last NFL game we have on the board. We have Rams minus 3.5 going into Chicago to play the Bears. Over under 48.5 is going to be a freezing cold game with 0-degree wind chills.
Yeah. Chicago Bears, they seem like a team of destiny, right? My buddy's like, oh my God, what do you think about the Bears? I said it. They were a dark horse because they believe. Ben Johnson has them doing crazy shit. Again, another second half comeback. And my buddy's like, well, they can't keep doing it. They can't keep doing it. I'm like, why not? It seems to be working. That defense is shit. That defense is no good. But what they are good at is they're opportunistic and they get turnovers. That's not sustainable to me. This is probably the best offense still in the playoffs. It's going to be, 15 degrees, but these coaches hate each other. I don't see the Rams losing this game, man. As much as I want the Bears to win this, as much as I think they can, I think that defense is too much of a liability, and you cannot continue to count on turnovers. They're taught, right? Guys are standing up, they're punching the ball out, Peanut Tillman, all that good stuff. But this offense is different, and McVay is different. To me, these are the 2 best coaches in the NFL this year, along with Vrabel. I love these guys. So I'm going with the Rams on the road in the cold. That's what I got.
I like the Rams too. Rams are favored to win the Super Bowl. I think they're like 3.5 to 1 or whatever. The Bears have they keep escaping, right? These escape a 21-6. You're up 21-6. You were up 21-3, I believe. Yeah. I mean, that Green Bay offense just turned off completely in the second half. It wasn't that the Bears were. I don't think you just said it. That Bears defense isn't very good. I just think it's something there that Green Bay just stopped executing, and they got a little bit, conservative, and the play calling. It all happens, and you can't have that. You can't make those mistakes. listen, great comeback by the Bears. They've done it all year long, and they've been down to bad teams. They've been down to good teams. They've come back and won. But this Rams team is different. I mean, you have Stafford, who could win the MVP, did have 40-something touchdown passes. You have probably the best receiver in the NFL right now in Puka. You have one of the 2 or 3 best coaches in the league. That defense looked bad last week at Carolina. That
was a shock.
That was shocking that they looked that bad. And I think they were just, you kind of had a little momentum swing there, not kicking the field goal, up 17-7. You don't kick the field goal. After that, you allow 10 in a row. Like, I think that was a mistake McVay made. And I think McVay kind of, I think he thought, I can afford this mistake because my offense is that good. I don't think you can afford this mistake against this Bears team. Not because the team is great, because this is not a great Bears team. Just like Carolina's team wasn't great. The Bears have battled back all year long. And so you can't give them any, if you're getting points, take the points. I don't think you can give them any edge. And the Bears, they don't give a fuck if they're down 21-0. They don't. They could be down 21-0 at halftime, like they were the other day before halftime or whatever.
They're more dangerous. Yeah.
They're more dangerous because they open up the playbook. They open up the playbook, which is what I don't like. I wish you came out. I wish they opened the game with that playbook where it's, let's open it up. Let's let Caleb get out. Let's throw the ball down the field to Loveland and those guys. So if the Bears can do that, I think they can win the game. I just think the Rams team is too good. I really. Man,
how good was Loveland? How good was freaking Loveland last week? He looked every bit when they drafted him that early. I was like, I liked Warren better.
Me too.
But my God, he showed up. He was all that last week. And are we going to give any credit to Caleb?
Yeah, you got to give credit on that 4th down pass in their own 30.
The wickedest pass.
Throw,
wicked, insane.
He made great throws. He played a hell of a game. There's no doubt about it. He's looked phenomenal, and we should give more credit to Ben Johnson to getting Caleb to this point.
Oh, he gets all the credit for sure.
There's no doubt about it. But listen, they did a hell of a job. There's no doubt about it. To battle back, the thing is, this is one of those teams where they're dangerous because they've trailed so many times. Yeah. And the thing is, they've trailed big. Like, why don't you give that same credit to Denver? I do. It's just that Denver is playing the Bills. It's a little different. Yeah. So, but I think the Rams pull it out. I think the Rams, Seahawks in the NFC title game, I think is what we're going to expect.
Don Merkin said Bears and the over. They are winners. Jalen Johnson and Nixon.
Oh, I love Jalen Johnson. Yeah, he's
one of the best corners in the league.
I believe in Ben Johnson. Would I be shocked? I wouldn't be shocked. But, like I said, I'm pulling for the Bears. Ben Johnson is my freaking hero. He's my freaking hero. He's so freaking good. But McVay, I mean, you can't. McVay's freaking great too. He's so good.
I think just think McVay needs to he can't go Dan Campbell here and go willy-nilly and shit, because this is a team that has come back from plenty of deficits. They understand what it is to be down late and against teams that are very good. They've done it against bad teams. They've done it against teams that are very good and very good defenses. So, I don't think you can. I think McVay needs to keep it a little bit more conservative this week. Take the points when you can get them, and then I think they'll be fine.
Well, Eddie Money, Rafa, let's go through Rafa's picks again so you can get a nice clip. Run through it real quick, and Rafa will give his predictions.
All right, let's do a quick run through of the NFL divisional round and Rafa's picks. Starting on Saturday, we got Bills and Broncos. Broncos favored by 1, over under 46.
We're going to take the Bills.
We got Niners. Good.
We're going to take Buffalo in Denver on the road. Too much Josh Allen.
You got the Niners and Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 7, over under 45.
I think Seattle wins the game. I don't want Seattle to win the game, but I think they will win the game. They're going to be that defense is not good enough to stop the run.
Money line teaser. 7's a lot of points, man.
7's a lot of points against a familiar opponent. If I had to choose to bet it, I would bet the Niners with the 7, because it's a lot of points. But I think Seattle's going to win the game.
Moving into Sunday, you got Texans and Patriots. Patriots favored by 3. Over under 40.5.
I'm taking the Texans plus 3. The defense, I think, is going to be. I think they're going to fluster the rookie, the second-year QB.
All right. Then the last game, we got the Rams minus 3.5 heading into Chicago to play the Bears. Over under 48.5.
I think the Rams win the game. I think the Bears cover.
There you go. Quick fire. Now, heading in to college football national championship on Monday after all the games, we got number 10 Miami playing number 1 Indiana. Indiana favored by 8.5. Over under 47.
That's a wild spread. That is crazy, Rafa. That freaking point spread.
It was 7.5. I think I heard.
It was 7.5 at first.
Now it's 8.5. I mean, wow. Miami, the game's being played in Miami. I mean, it's going to, Fernando Mendoza from Miami, the family, this, that, the whole thing, the Cuban, he's Cuban, facing Miami. He grew up, a mile down from the university.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, and I don't know if you've seen the videos, but there's a lot of these grandmothers and older ladies who don't watch, football, but they understand that Miami, the Hurricanes, when they arrived in Miami, that was the thing, right? But they see the Cuban kid with Indiana, and it's, the ladies, this is a Cuban kid. He's like my grandson.
Yeah.
He grew up down the street, from here. So I think I 8.5 is too many for a title game, Eddie. And we said it last week. We said it the week before. And I keep saying it every week. You and I thought this Miami team was the best team the first 4 weeks of the season. They have gotten back to that, I believe. Although what bothered me a little bit about the Ole Miss game was that pass rush wasn't able to get to Chambliss as much as we saw them get to Sayin and we saw them get to A&M. That, I think, is going to be a problem. And will they be able to stop this Indiana run game? 250-plus yards a game they averaged, I believe, in the regular season. You have the Heisman, of course, super intelligent, probably the smartest player on the field. Can Carson Beck limit the mistakes? Can you get the ball to baby Jesus Malachi Tony? Understand that it's a huge. I mean, it's going to be insane. I can't wait for it. I'm gonna stick with my gun and my team. I'm gonna go with my boys Miami to cover the 8.5. I'm doing it.
This is the least confident I've heard of Rafa in Miami.
He's talking himself. He's talking himself.
Talking himself into it.
He's talking himself into it. For me, the key to the game is, can Miami run the ball? Last week, they were able, they had a couple drives or 13 plays and they ran it 10 times. That offensive line is monstrous. There's a disparity in size from Miami's offensive line, but that's been all year. No one's as big as Miami's offensive line. There's like 4 Godzillas on that damn offensive line. But where Indiana is small is that defensive line. Will Miami be able to run the ball like they have in these playoffs? Because I love that running back.
Fletcher.
And yeah, oh God, he's so good, and the kid's so good. They've been calling. The offensive coordinator's been great. I love the play calling. And Carson Beck, you got to give him credit, man. I buried that kid almost alive. And
you have to give him credit.
Oh, I will. Oh my God, yes. He's been great. And it hasn't been all like safe throws. He's thrown the ball downfield. On 3rd and 8, he's made plays with his legs. He's been tough. So I think it's a great matchup. I agree with you, Rafa. This 8.5, and I always say this when people ask me, oh, you know a lot about sports. Every spread is always an overreaction to last week. Now, Indiana has blown out everybody, right? They've blown out everybody. But that game last week was done after that first pick 6. After that, you can't let Indiana get into a groove and be like, we're going to play field position. We're going to run the ball. And that's what you did when Dante Moore freaking threw that pick six. It was like, boom, we're good. We're going to play our game. It'll be interesting for me to see if Miami could run the ball on that defense. And, I believe in Fernando, man. I hate that stupid song by ABBA, Fernando, whatever. It's annoying as hell. But I do believe in Signetti. Cristobal, also Cuban. Like the Cubans, I wish we were in Miami. The Cuban population is so split, but this kid is such a good son, right, to his mom. And it's a great story, man. I would like to see Indiana and Fernando Mendoza finish this thing out and have what they're saying, maybe, one of the best college football teams or stories of all time. I won't say teams because 91 Miami is it's ridiculous. But I want to see Indiana finish this thing out, man. And I think the key is can Indiana stop the run of Miami Hurricanes? Eddie Money, what do you got? Or go ahead, Rafa.
When we go back to last week's game with Oregon, Oregon had their top two backs out. They were out of the game. And I think that's why it resulted in Dante Moore dropping back a lot more than he should have. Listen, you throw the pick six, fine. There's plenty of game left. I mean, we saw Brock Purdy throw pick six against the Bears, and they came back perfectly fine. Were able to score and so on. They went, and the problem was they weren't going to be able to run the ball because their two lead backs were out. I mean, one of the kids was in uniform, but he wasn't able to go, right? And so you had your two leading rushers out of the game, and then you had a freshman, I believe, in there. It might have been a true freshman in that game, running the football for them. And Oregon's strong suit, whether people want to, Dante Moore is a top 5 pick or whatever, and we know he's staying, he understands that he played like shit, and the team needed him to play well, play good, and he didn't. And they had to rely on him. They weren't able to run the football. Miami can run the football. Their two backs against Ole Miss averaged over 5 yards a carry between the both of them if you combine them both, right? Fletcher averaged over about 6 yards a game, 6 yards a run. The other kid averaged almost 4. Like, they were able to run the football against Ole Miss. And listen, Indiana's front 4 or front 7, they could be better than that Ole Miss team. This offensive line that Miami has, I think, is the best offensive line in the country all year long. Okay, the games they lost, they were on Carson Beck. They weren't on that run game. They were on Beck. They've understood that in these playoffs, although last week they relied on Beck to make plays, and he did, but they still ran for over 190 yards. Might have been even 200 yards between the two backs. So I think will be able to run the ball, and I think they keep this game close, Eddie. And listen, if at the end of the game you need a drive, Carson Beck just did it. There's no denying that he can do it. Fernando Mendoza, he's done it. Handful of times he's done it. He can also do it. I think we're in for a treat. I think 8.5 is too much. I think we're within a 1-score game in this one. And I wouldn't be shocked if one of the teams won by 4, like you saw last week with Ole Miss. I don't think this is going to be a route that Indiana's put together in the first 2 playoff games. I don't think so.
I don't either. Eddie Money?
I'm 100% biased. I have a future on Indiana. So go Indiana. I just need a win. Don't care about the spread at all. Let's go Indiana, baby.
Let's go, man. It's going to be great. So fired up. We love college football. I'm sad. Before we get off of college football, big news today. Dante Moore has declared that he's staying. Also, the quarterback from Longstreet from Corona, who was at USC, is going to LSU. It's some crazy shit going on, man. Guys are transferring to other schools and willing to sit like Dante Moore did. He went to Oregon knowing Bo Nix was going to start. Now you got this kid who's saying Longstreet, who was going to sit behind Mayava at SC, is now going to LSU, where Levitt is going to be. What do you think about Dante Moore's decision to stay in? I thought he needed more baking. I think it's good, but it might hurt his draft status, Rafa.
I don't think it does. And listen, next year we know the quarterbacks that are coming out, they're going to be better. You got Arch coming. The kid who's going to be at LSU, you just named Levitt. He's also a hell of a quarterback. Lenore Stellers. staying back. He had high expectations. He didn't play well. Can he get back to it? I think he will. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year. I think he'll be top 4 in the Heisman.
The
He's
kid
coming
from
back.
the kid from North Texas, who everyone's fired, Funderbucker.
Yeah,
What-
there's a lot of
Yeah.
guys that will come out next year. Dante Moore, we know, is going to be the first or second quarterback selected this year. But what were his the last game he played was god awful.
Yeah,
It was just an awful football game. Oh, my camera just died. Wow, what happened?
unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man. Fuck my life. But I'm gonna go with I like that he stayed. I think it's great for college football that he stayed, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. You're not going to get that camera back up, are you?
I'm gonna disconnect it and turn it back on.
Okay. I would love for Hakatomi. What do you think, Eddie Money, about Dante Moore? Because listen, even if he plays well, okay, Arch, they're assembling the Avengers. I don't know if you've seen.
Yeah, they have an insane
Coleman from Auburn going to be on the other side of Wingo, the other stud. You got running backs, the best tight end in the country is going to Texas. Arch is set up to have the most insane year on offense. So this is not a decision, in my opinion, where he's avoiding the Jets, because he might get the Jets might be second, third pick anyways. I'm happy for college football. I think it's the right decision as far as development for Dante Moore, but it might hurt his pocket. He might be the
fun there.
How much money did they give him?
Not 50 million guaranteed.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yep.
listen, if you stay
You're not
in-
getting number 1 pick next year.
well, you don't know that. I mean, listen,
I'd be willing to
he's
bet
going to
that.
be next year. He'll be the Heisman favorite going into it. They're probably going to be ranked. Let's be real. When the season is all said and done, they will be the number 1 team going in, when this season's over tomorrow, Monday. Tuesday morning, the really early top 25 rankings, Oregon will be number 1 and Texas will be number 2, or flip-flop them. That will be the rankings for the early 2026 season. Okay, so he's going to have every opportunity to go undefeated, win the Heisman, and if he does, he could be the number 1 pick. So I think when you look at his roster and his and the offense that they run and all that, it's perfect for his style. I don't think it's going to hurt him next year. And he's also, I'm 1,000% sure he's taken out on insurance just in case he gets hurt. So for $50 million or $70 million or whatever it is that he were to make if he were going to the NFL.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great decision. Eddie, you mentioned it last week. He's not ready. We know he's not ready.
Yeah.
We would like for him to say he was awful at UCLA. He goes to Oregon and all of a sudden he's phenomenal. We need him. He needs to develop a little more. We saw him play 2 bad games against Indiana. Indiana is they were one of the best defenses in the college football this year. They were second or first or second. So they were great, but still a college football defense. And you couldn't get it done against them. So what am I expecting you to do if you come to the Jets where you have 0 fucking weapons? What am I expecting you to do week in and week out against the Patriots and the Chiefs and, the Texans and all that? So I think it's a smart move for him. And I think it's set up perfectly for him where they can go undefeated next year or lose a game. He can win the Heisman. He can get into the playoffs. They're still going to have a hell of a roster. And I think it's a good decision.
By the
Agree.
way, Don Merkin said regarding the game, he said, Mendoza on the take, he throws it for his hometown Miami Hurricanes.
Not a bad take at all, Don.
Yes. For all the croquetas. I love
not
it.
a bad take at all, Don. Throws the game. He still won the Heisman. He's still going to be the number 1 pick.
They're going to love him
And
either way. They're going to love him either way.
They're going to love him either way. Miami's
He's
still
going
going
to
to
have the
love
weekend
him.
of his life.
Yeah.
The
Or
only way
probably
they'd
the
love
week
him
of his
even
life.
more- The only way they'd love him even more is if the Dolphins traded the first pick to the Raiders and Tua.
Oh,
And
could
they
you
got the first
imagine?
pick and they drafted Fernando Mendoza in Miami. Could you imagine that? And then hired Signetti. Could you imagine that?
Oh, man. This is
Wow.
we're in for maybe the wildest offseason because we said McDermott might get fired. You have Tomlin, Harbaugh. You have Kubiak, Shula. You have McCarthy. It's already crazy. NFL is king. There's a reason it's king. I'm gonna be sad when it's over. I'm gonna be sad when college football is over. By the way, Don is a football genius. I don't know if you know this. Don was a film guy in one of the most innovative offenses in college football with Mouse. I forget his name, Mouse Davis. And anyways, talk football with Don. He'll blow your effing mind away. It's freaking crazy. So impressive.
I love it.
Guys, anything else? We're coming up on 2 hours. We knocked out college football. I have Indiana. I'll take him to cover. Fuck it. I'll take him to cover. Eddie
All right,
Money
let's
just
bet a round of golf on.
Yes. You 8.5?
8.5.
All right, man. Can I
Better-
choose
You choose the course.
Pebble Beach? You said it, man. You know what I want to play? I want to play what's that in Newport?
Monarch Beach?
Not Monarch. The one overlooking
Pelican Hill.
I want to play
All right.
Pelican. I heard it's
Let's-
cheaper in the afternoon.
We'll bet Pelican Hill.
Yes.
A round of golf at Pelican Hill. That's our bet for the week.
Yes.
We should have a bet every week, Eddie.
We should. And it should be a golf. And
Yeah.
I'll be locked in now. I'm locked in. I want to play Pelican Hill so bad. Eddie Money, anything else? Basketball. Lakers have a big win last night.
Look, basketball.
LeBron.
The Thunder
is-
get off the schneid against the Spurs
Yeah, they
last night,
finally.
Yeah.
missing a couple pieces, and that was kind of it's hard to beat a good team that many times in a season, although it's done in the NBA. But
Hard to
the hate
play
on
on.
LeBron, LeBron's ridiculous, and it continues. Oh, real quick, I don't know if you saw. What's his name? Rich Paul. He's got a
Yes.
podcast with Max Kellerman.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Paul came out and made a comment about Austin Reeves being traded to Memphis for Jaren Jackson Jr. And his comment was basically, LeBron came out today and said, "Listen, that Rich Paul's his own man. I don't think the way he does." He got out, he got out in front of it, made a statement right away. But that he basically said the Lakers are building around Luka, and you're better off with Jaren Jackson Jr. than you are with Austin Reeves. He's not lying. He's not lying. The problem is that he's an agent. He's, it's can I say it's tampering a little bit?
You can.
Because he's involved in the league. He's involved. He's an agent
He's the biggest agent
right now in the NBA.
Oh,
yeah, his company is the biggest agency in the NBA, right?
So imagine, and you're coming out and making those comments. You're tampering with a player. I don't know if you should be doing that, right? I think you shouldn't be doing that. I think you should shut the fuck up. That's why morons like Eddie and I are here to throw out.
Yes,
that's for us to do, Rich. That's for us.
Not
to
you.
do.
Who's involved?
We have no repercussions. We have no repercussions.
And you're involved in the sport, right? Like you can, if you were talking about the NFL, maybe I don't know if he represents any NFL players, but it's different. But for you to come out and say that, and then LeBron, who, whether people want to believe it or not, is still probably the face of the NBA with Steph Curry, for him to have to come out and make this about a current teammate who, by the way, was averaging almost 30 before he got hurt. But for you to come out and say that, I think it's just kind of, it adds a little bit more to the LeBron hate for a lot of people. It's easy for them to now more fuel to the LeBron hate fire.
Did you see the patch that he wears? That only he wears. That NBA gave him a patch.
Year 23.
Listen, I'm not going to be mad at it. You know why? Because when Jordan scored fucking 20,000 points, 30,000 points, they got him all. David Stern fucking gave him a fucking little fucking thing every fucking time. So, and LeBron's never gotten that. Okay, so I don't mind it. And I could give 3 fucks about it, to be honest with you. If he's got a patch or he doesn't, no NBA player, shut the fuck up.
They're gonna give LeBron a franchise in Vegas. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He will get that franchise in Vegas. That is gonna happen.
The thing is, they need to because LeBron's already started. There's already there's a rumor going around where LeBron's going to take players in the offseason and build this thing in Europe and all sorts of stupid shit that you don't want to happen.
Yeah.
You really don't want to happen. And he's got a lot of fucking money where he can possibly make something super like that happen. And he's got a lot of people behind him that have a shit ton of money. So you don't want anything like that to happen. So you're going to probably just, you know what? The next franchise, LeBron retire, will give you a franchise.
He needs to retire, Rafa. JJ and him are boys, right? They had the podcast. JJ, he's tired of it. He's tired of the shit. And I don't blame LeBron. It's his 23rd fucking year. Like, what are you gonna what are you gonna show me on a grease board that I haven't seen a million times before? I'm not mad at LeBron for being like bored or nonchalant or are we really gonna win? We're not gonna win. He should go to the fucking golf course, man, and play golf. He's practicing his swing. Like it's over. I don't know why he stayed this year. I hope
31, 9, and 10 last night.
He had he had a good game, but he could do that. You know what, Rafa? He'll probably be able to do that in 3 years. It doesn't mean, that he still should be playing, in my opinion. And I feel like JJ's kind of had it. Do you not see that?
What it seems like through the interviews.
No,
for sure.
I think it's Jake. There's some sort of frustration there. Yes. Could it be? Is it with his defense? Because it's definitely not with his offensive play. It's with his defensive play.
Of course.
But at the same time, if I'm not getting the best player on the team to play defense, how am I going to get the second best player who's been in the league for 23 years, and to play defense in a game in December and January? That's the thing. I think if you got this in the first round of the playoffs, then I think it's a little bit more alarming. I'm not gonna put anything on him playing defense in these months, to be honest with you, because it's the 23rd year, because he's 41 years old, because I know we've seen what he's done over time. There's still, listen, when the game gets tight at the end, he's not just lollygagging on defense. He's really not. The lollygag comes in the second and third quarter when they're down fucking 15 or where they're up 10. But when he has to have a chase down block where he has to come from the weak side to help, he does. He's not doing that in a 3-point game with 2 minutes left. He's just not. And all these morons that live off of making those fucking videos on Instagram, bashing him. Oh, look at LeBron's defense. I thought, bro, look at the score. They're down 20 in the third quarter, and you want him to make a play? Like, bro, he's one leap away from fucking busting an ACL. Like, let's relax. It's January.
Did you see the interview he had in his locker post game? They were asking him about his health. He goes, "Any back-to-back, I'm automatically questionable. I'm 41, man."
And it's true. He didn't play the other night on a back-to-back. The second night, he didn't play.
Yeah.
And they're picking and choosing if he's playing the first night or the second night, and you wouldn't expect anything less. Why would you? And listen, at this time right now, I think they're sitting at the 4 spot or the 5 spot in the West. I think they're fine. If they're in one of the top in the first 6 spots, I think they're going to be fine. You're going to be able to rest them. Now, if you're in late March and you're buying for that 6 spot, then it's different. Where it's like, you know what, maybe he's probably not going to sit out that second night of a back-to-back in a must-win situation to stay in that 5 or 6. Because listen, if you're the Lakers, there's no way in hell that you want to be 7, 8, 9, or 10 because your second best player is 41 years old and he needs all the rest he can get. So, but I think if we get down into late March in a must-win game, LeBron's going to play that second night of a back-to-back. He really is. He's going to play defense. And I know you love LeBron. That guy's 41 years old. He's still putting up 31, 10, and 9 on over 50% shooting. He's still having less turnovers than Luka every fucking night. Like, let's be real. Give the man some credit.
Well, that's what you're here for.
I am.
The only person he gives credit to any money is LeBron James. Everyone else gets zero credit. Everyone else gets
unlimited loans. But
there's no doubt about it that I will always give credit to LeBron James. I'll always give credit to LeBron James and Patrick Mahomes. I will always give them credit. I'm sorry, because I've seen their elite. I've lived their eliteness. And all of these guys who swear by it, like morons like Jay and all the Laker fans who had one channel to watch the fucking NBA besides TNT, You only watch Laker games. That's why you idiots, when you get interviewed outside the stadium, who's the player that should be traded? LeBron James. Who's the most overrated player? LeBron James. Yes, he's overrated. At 41 years old, he's still putting up ridiculous numbers. Yes, Laker fans, you're fucking morons.
Well, I will say this, and I'm only going to say it because no one's watching, right? No one's watching. No one's on. But I do have a weird insider in the NBA, and he told me 3 weeks ago that Austin Reeves is going to get traded. And I probably shouldn't have said that, but I've had
he's the only piece that they have. He's the only piece that can improve your team, and you're getting a player that, although a good player, not a game-changing player. He's not going to win you playoff games. It's just not. He's not that good of a number two. There's plenty of number twos that are a lot better than him. There really are. I know that's fucked up to say. And when Luka went out, he averaged 35. I don't give a fuck. That was in November. Like, I don't care. When you look at Austin Reeves, and he has a great contract. He's a phenomenal contract. So, but when you look at him, is he better than Jaren Jackson Jr.? Not a fucking chance in hell. If you had a chance to get Jaren Jackson Jr. on your team, that's who you go and get. Because that's a viable number two. And he's actually a number one right now. When Jaw's out, he's the number one, and he can carry a team. Austin Reeves can't carry a team for weeks at a time. He just can't. That's not the player that he is. I'm sorry.
Well, one of these days we'll talk about the Pistons and the superstar that they have and that no one freaking talks about. But it is what it is. Well, guys, that is episode 166. Thank you guys for joining. We had a ton of people in shooting the shit. We got to get a nickname for Mike the accountant or something. Like he's worried about everybody's pocket, man.
Except his own teams.
Except his own teams.
Except
Had no problem with that.
No,
Eddie Money.
We'll take a cap hit.
Yeah. Any last words, Eddie Money?
Enjoy some great football.
Yes, I'm nervous.
Saturday till Monday. Elite football, I should say.
Fuck football. Enjoy great weather to play golf this weekend. 80
this
degrees.
Motherfucker.
80 degrees, but NECA, please.
Yes. I already got a tea time scheduled for Sunday.
If I go play golf, I'm wearing those nomadic shorts that are like 3-inch inseams with you guys.
Yeah, baby. With his left ball.
You'll just be straight thigh the whole day, Rafa.
Bro, this guy's gonna swing with his fucking wiener. It's gonna be the rotation, Eddie, is gonna be club and cock.
Yes,
cock.
We gotta see it, man. That's a great brand.
To be honest with you, that's a great brand name.
I just
club and cock.
Club and cock, and you just got a club swing, and then fucking Eddie Schlong in shorts.
Yes,
just the image of Eddie Money in his shorts, 6 foot 2 or 3, 3-inch fucking inseams, and a fucking just a fucking pito just prop.
Just
right
poking
here.
out.
Can you imagine that driver swing from Eddie Money just coming from all the way from the top and just schlong and fucking and driver just shaft, double shaft, rock.
Okay, now we've taken it too far.
Rafa's thought about this.
Well, listen, Rafa, I'll see you Friday. We have a great round of golf scheduled for Saturday morning. The eBuck Cup. Shout out to eBuck. Happy birthday, eBuck.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday, eBuck. Shout out to thoughts and prayers for my friends Mike and Bernadette. They lost their dog of like 15 years. That sucks. But other than that, everyone be safe. Enjoy football. Don't be a loser. Shoot them well. And none but love for y'all. We'll see you next week, man.
Peace.